Hi, and welcome to the UNAS Midwatch podcast. Thanks for listening. If you're enjoying our podcast and would really like to help us out, please subscribe and leave a review wherever you are listening. It really does help us grow our audience. If you are on Facebook or Instagram, head on over and subscribe and follow us so you never miss an episode. We also have a Patreon available, so you can help us keep this podcast going. Just look us up and become part of the UNAS today. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, man?
Hey.
I am not feeling it tonight.
You look like it.
Yeah, I haven't been sleeping.
Well,
So I know I'll be awake anyway. That part doesn't bother me. I'm just ready to catch a nap.
that is why I sent her to school.
I was wondering.
Freaking snoring is ridiculous.
I was wondering where he went.
Yeah, I just needed a couple week or so break from his snoring. It's awful, and it's too much.
He really does saw some logs. I've heard him a few times walking by.
Oh my god, his room's right next to mine, so
You can hear it through the walls.
through the walls.
I wonder if he needs to go get a sleep study done. Maybe
he
he has
definitely
sleep
does.
apnea.
Or just like smother him with a pillow or something.
I've considered both.
Just be quiet. So softly.
Shh. Say hello to grandfather.
Go towards the light, Drew.
So, question: cereal. You guys eat it?
Yep.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. So, milk. Do you drink the milk afterwards?
Wait.
Is that a real question?
Yeah, honestly, some people don't.
Yes.
Kind of.
Okay, I don't want to get into that, but here's my next question.
I don't drink the milk. I don't slurp out of the bowl. But I
You
will.
too good for that?
Yes.
I hate you so much.
But I will get extra spoonfuls of milk before I actually dump the remainder in the sink.
First world problems. Yeah, first world problems.
Oh, I know there's like an Ethiopian child mad at me.
There's a fucking American child right here mad at you.
Yeah, 2 American children.
For 50 cents a day, you could sponsor a coworker.
You could
for
slurp
cereal
milk.
Like, for real, though, if Fruity Pebbles, okay. You can
Well, this leads to my question.
Oh, man.
Okay, my question is, best after cereal milk?
Cocoa Crisp. Not Cocoa Puffs. Way different.
I'm gonna have to say Fruity Pebbles.
Okay. Mine is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, so here's my argument with that.
I like
all
the
the
cinnamon.
all the shit that floats in the milk likes to get stuck in your throat, and it makes me like cough a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's
Trying to get
the
it out.
dustiness doesn't get weighed down by the liquid of the milk.
100% the flavor. Especially if you get 2 bowls and you keep the milk, you don't add any more, it gets even thicker. That cinnamon sugar. Oh, reason I asked, because I just found Cinnamilk. Cinnamon Toast Crunch put out in milk. That's supposed to be like your after cereal milk. I've been saying this for years.
So it's a new thing. Well, you should have patented it or marketed it first. But there is a Fruity Pebbles coffee creamer that is super delish.
Yep, have it.
And then there's a place, a donut shop that you make them to order, but they offer cereal milk and they cycle through all the flavors as their coffee creamer. So I've had Cinnamon Toast Crunch coffee milk.
So this was at the store. I only saw the Cinnamilk, and I bought it. So disappointing.
I bet it was.
So disappointing. It wasn't cinnamony enough. Cinnamony? Cinnamony?
Cinnamony.
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 Those are words. But it didn't have enough cinnamon, and it didn't have enough sugar. It's basically like if you took your milk from a bowl of cereal, put it into a milkshake, and lost some of that flavor over the basically French vanilla ice cream. That's what it was like. It wasn't good. I was
Probably
upset.
because they have to
Pasteurize it.
like it's we'll pasteurize
It's supposed to go in your mouth,
preservatives
not
to
past
keep
your
it-
eyes.
What?
It's supposed to go in your mouth, not past your eyes.
Even though you couldn't hear
Depending
me
on
say
your
that
nose
just
size.
now.
That was a good dad joke.
With preservatives and maintaining shelf life and maintaining calorie count, they probably have to like limit the amount of cinnamon or sugar to make sure they don't like carry over a threshold so kids aren't just drinking sugar water in the morning.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
I mean, what do you think cereal is?
No, I know, but you know how they market it to like 9 whole
not sugar
grains
water,
and
it's
all
sugar
essential
biscuits.
minerals. I'm just saying to get past the USDA or FDA or FCC or Homeland Security, I don't know,
USDA?
whoever monitors.
Security. The DIA or the CIA. It's gotta
United
get through all of
States
them.
Dodgeball Association?
Like DEA. There's some sort of white powder in it. I don't know.
How do y'all feel about O's?
Like the cereal O's?
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, me too.
What is that?
So they're little
Delicious O's.
round honey circles with like
Cheerios?
No.
They're like this big and they have like little nut things
Giggity.
on the inside of them.
Yeah.
They are
It's honey nut O's. basically.
amazing.
But it's different than Cheerios.
Yes.
Yes.
Substantially different.
They put the fake nut in the middle, giggity. Whereas Cheerios just kind of coats it all.
The store back home, they're always buy one, get one free too. So I'm like,
nice.
yep.
Have you guys ever had Cracklin' Oat Brain?
Yep.
Yep.
I think that stuff's good.
I do too. I eat that without milk.
It's like a cookie.
Especially
Yeah.
if I need to take a shit. Just eat a bunch
Yeah.
of that, you're
Yeah,
gonna
whole
shit.
different fiber
Yep.
take. No, do you guys cycle your cereals?
Yes.
Or do you like have a staple that's always in the house?
I cycle.
I cycle. My kids do not. Like, my youngest right now is on bird or rabbit cereal.
The youngest?
Yeah. That's how he
Really?
calls it. It's bird or rabbit. It's Fruit Loops or Trix. Bird or rabbit.
Oh, I was thinking like a granola, like fruits and grains.
You were
and
thinking like an adult. That's
like in
why.
a muesli type
Right?
box.
Think like a kid. Like a 5-year-old. So
Yeah,
it's
that
either
makes
bird
sense.
or rabbit. That's what he eats.
No tiger cereal
No, he's not
No
a big fan of the
pirate cereal?
tigers. No
or
pirates
bird
either.
or bird cereal.
Well, Fruit Loops.
Well,
bird.
the other bird,
I don't know
Frog?
if he knows that.
the Cocoa Puffs.
I don't think he knows that one.
I won't buy that. I don't buy Captain Crunch either because the roof of your mouth shenanigans.
Well,
Destroyed.
That's why you have to let it sit for.
See, I even
at
think
least
the milk
a
will
minute.
cut your mouth.
So
Like,
I
if you
use-
put it in there, let it soak, and then drain the cereal from it, and then drink the milk, you're getting like 3rd-degree paper cuts in your throat.
It's like,
It's like tearing your insides up as you're digesting it.
what's like the
That
buffalo
explains
stuff
why I
that
always
heals
shit blood when
wounds
I
when
eat.
you cut them.
But I love cereal. Cereal is probably... There's a reason breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and it's because of cereal.
Unless you're intermittent fasting, then you miss out on all that stuff.
That's
Then
why you
you're
eat
done.
brunch.
Brunch is good, but it's not as fun if you're not drinking.
Like I said, only reason I like brunch is because it's socially acceptable to get hammered during brunch.
Hammered. And that was like a big thing for the 20-somethings.
I only eat at bottomless mimosas.
What? I'm drinking orange juice.
See, with brunch, I don't think that cereal is an acceptable brunch meal.
What about
I think
cereal
brunch-
on donuts?
No,
for
beg to
brunch?
differ.
I don't even think donuts is really a brunch meal.
I think that-
brunch has to be a meal with knife and fork breakfast foods.
I don't think so. I think it's a smorgasbord. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's brunch.
I mean,
it's
I
not
know
a real
you can.
meal.
I know that we're in a free country for now,
Sort of.
but
Still costs something.
if whether it's pancakes, French toast, an omelet, whatever, you still need a fork to eat it. But cereal,
You ever had a French toast sandwich?
okay, so maybe not necessarily
Boom.
knife and fork.
Mic
But I
drop.
mean, you can have like a sandwich, but either way, there's eggs, there's meat involved, there's, perhaps hash browns. But if you eat cereal that late, then that's because you're probably 14 and you just slept for 15 hours. And
Homie,
then
I
you
eat
just-
cereal at fucking 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I've had dinner. Breakfast dinner.
That's sort of different.
How's that different?
That's
Because that just
being
means
lazy.
that you
just
forgot to
negates
defrost something and you need it quick.
Not
You're just like,
necessarily.
shit, I've done that.
Yeah, like, ugh. All right.
I've specifically bought food for dinner at night. Or for dinner at night, for breakfast for dinner. Like I've gone out.
But what have you bought?
Sausage.
Exactly. So a meat and the cheese and the egg and the hash
And
browns, the biscuits,
we've done
whatever.
cereal.
But cereal is not a planned dinner meal. That is
Can be
oh crap, we got home
It's-
super late.
planned for breakfast.
I think there's a difference.
For you, maybe. For me, no. Whatever you got. We got anything planned? Nope. Okay. Dinner.
Breakfast.
For breakfast.
Where you always have the reserve hot dogs or shells and cheese.
Yeah. So my other thing is my son does this weird thing that is completely gross and I hate it. He does hot dogs cut up and he'll tell me how he wants them cut up. He'll be like, I want them heat, or he says, I want them hot and cut up, and he'll make the motion for me cutting up with his knife hand, and then white sauce.
Mayonnaise.
Ranch. Yeah,
Interesting.
It's white sauce and red sauce. That's ketchup and ranch dressing. So
Okay.
hot dogs and ranch. It's freaking gross. But he loves it.
You know what my go-to is when I'm feeling lazy? Ordering pizza.
I mean, we've discussed that before. Pizza's like the always available, always go to, never fails. How many times have you thrown out pizza?
Not true.
Never.
It does fail. So let me tell you this little ditty. I recently ordered pizza. The delivery took forever. So long, so much so that
Did you order it
we
through
didn't even complain.
a delivery service?
I did.
What's your
Grubhub?
problem?
Oh, no, not like that. I mean, like delivery from the pizza place. It took so long. We were upset. Whatever. Shit happens. It arrives late. We didn't complain or anything, but they sent us we're sorry we didn't meet our standards. Here's a free medium cheese pizza.
Nice.
It is cool, except for one who literally, unless you're 6 years old, orders just cheese.
There's a lot of people that don't like toppings on pizza.
What kind of cheese?
Yeah.
The plain
The fork
free
cheese.
one. The free cheese.
The $5 cheese pizza.
Like, please offer one topping.
I don't
Something better.
mind a cheese pizza occasionally.
Would you go out of your way to order it separately?
I have.
Or is it just like you're at a community event, a bunch of pizzas were ordered to the park, and pepperoni ran out?
I have ordered cheese pizza several
What?
times. Yeah.
That is such a waste of time and energy and money.
Not really. If you like it, you like it.
So there is a Italian place back in Jacksonville called Sienna's, and they make the most amazing deep dish pizza.
What's it called?
Sienna's.
Deep dish too, huh?
Yes.
Like deep dish, or deep dish Chicago?
Like deep dish Chicago. It was amazing.
Well, if we ever go back there, we'll check it out.
Hopefully
Yeah,
we
we'll
will.
have to do that. But I'm not even done with my other story.
Oh God.
So that was a while. I go online because you have to order it online. The coupon code on the card doesn't work. I order again. I decide, you know what? Last time delivery took too long. I'm going to do this smart. I'm going to order it now. Go pick up my son from daycare. And then go pick it up. Well, my alerts on the tracker system, it
Excuse me.
does like making, baking, preparing, and then it's ready. Well, it jumped from
well, so we
baking
know who you ordered from
all
now.
the way to prepare to be picked up. And I'm like, okay, whatever. At least I know it'll be ready when we get there. I show up, it's not ready. So she finds half of my order, takes it out from the shelf where like the heat lamps are, puts it on the counter. Several other people come in behind me, pick up their stuff, get their pizzas, leave. About 15 minutes later, she finally informs me that they don't know what happened to my fourth item, that they have to remake it. Sorry, it's going to be about another 10 minutes. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you already said it's ready.
They hate
So-
you.
Right. So then I said, well, and I didn't even talk about the coupon, talk about the free medium cheese. So I said, okay, 10 more minutes. Well, which pizza was it? Because I don't want to stick around anymore. Well, we'll knock it out real quick. It was like the main pizza, right? She goes to take it back, and I was like, were you going to remake these ones also? She's like, no. I'll just put them over here, and I'm like, under the heat lamp where they can continue to just over bake. Mind you, they've already been sitting on the counter ready for me to leave for 15 minutes. So this stuffed crust pizza is like all cold and coagulated and friggin' ruined.
Yep.
So that one I actually did complain about, and they're gonna refund me or redo the order like on a credit. So that's pretty chill of them.
So it sounds like you need to stop ordering from Domino's.
Actually, we did that a long time ago. This was not Domino's.
Oh, then it was Pizza
And
Hut.
they screwed up bad. Oh, and not only that, but I heard one of the people bitch to other workers like, guys, remember to put the sauce in there. You're not doing this. Give me a marinara or whatever. Well, when I got home with my stuff, I opened up the chicken. No dipping sauce.
That's why you go to Little Caesars, man.
Yeah.
You will
This
never
is
be
like-
disappointed with
I
Little
love
Caesars.
Their little thing they have out front now, where you put in the code and it like opens up the doors for you.
Yes.
Where you can just walk in, everything's paid for. You put in your little code and it opens the doors, and there's your pizzas.
So when you order on the app for pickup, they put it in this giant warmer thing,
What?
and you punch in a code, and it opens up
Yeah.
the warmer that has your pizza in it, and you just slide it out.
So it's like an Amazon locker for pizza.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, have you ever been to like an amusement park and
Yeah.
like put in a
You just
code
put
and
in
it
your
opens
code
it?
and
Yeah.
pring.
Same thing, but it keeps it hot, and it's hot. Like you
Quit
can't
being
put it on
bougie.
your lap. Hot.
Save some money, quit being bougie, eat Little
Yeah.
Caesars. It's way better than anywhere else.
Well, Caesar was a governor, right? What do you call him? Emperor?
He was an emperor, a
Yeah.
dictator, yes.
My guy was just a papa. So,
AKA a ruler with a heavy hand.
You guys talk to that John's guy?
so on another note about food, I had an Arby's incident where I ordered a double beef and cheddar.
Hold the cheddar.
Yeah, well, they did.
Hold the
cheddar.
beef.
But
Could you
it
just
was
get a cheddar?
and I didn't even order a double. I ordered a medium, and I looked at my receipt. It said double, but when I got it, it was like primarily bread. So I legit took the time to Google how much meat should be on there,
Of course you did.
and then I weighed it because I got shortchanged. Like, they are not, at least in my incident. But the weird thing is when you Google how much meat on an Arby's sandwich, like the Arby's website doesn't tell you it's 3 ounces. But there's another article written in some person's blog where they had the same thing.
Whatever you do, don't use that for the search bar for Pornhub.
Roast beef.
3 ounces of beef.
Arby's beef.
Hold the cheddar.
Hey, it's because they don't get paid enough to do things the right way. Okay?
I like Arby's.
They would if they got paid $15 an hour. They probably would. They would care all of a sudden.
I like Arby's. Even though their cheese is like out of a can, still like them. That's a go-to for me. I could go to Arby's a
I
lot.
like it too, even if it's cheese. I feel like the cheese is like a challenge for my blood to wage war on which one.
Let's see if you
One's
fuckers
strong.
slow down.
Feel the
Yeah.
fucking arteries clogging
Can you
as you're
fight
eating
through
it.
this wall and-
Show me your strength, blood arteries.
So my go-to is not a big chain like that. It's this place called Angie's. It's a sub place.
back home.
Yeah, back home.
Yeah, but where would you go out in town here?
Angie's
If they had it, Angie's.
or Jimmy John's.
So that's a big chain.
I had a job interview at a Jimmy John's. And while you're trying to do a job interview and eat, it's really weird. Like, the guy interviewing me, he was horfing his shit down. And he'd, like, ask a question and just, like, shove the sub in his throat and listen to me answer. So I have these longer answers than his questions. So I'm sitting there trying to enjoy this Jimmy John's sandwich and
Beach Club.
also try to interview properly. Didn't go well. I didn't get the job, obviously, because I'm still standing here with you guys. But
My wife recently sent me an article from the news station back home where a McDonald's was offering $50 incentives to simply show up for the interview. And it was a complete flop.
Nobody wants.
To show up
I'm not going to get into.
to get
I'm
an
not gonna
interview
get into
for
this right now.
$50. Like,
Yeah, I will. Fuck it.
I can fill in a application, show up, and play pretend, but no, it was still a flop because nobody wanted to work there.
about to say, what incentive does the average American citizen have to work right now?
Not much.
None.
Yeah.
They're getting paid more in unemployment than they would being employed.
Agreed.
And it's tax-free.
And I've been
agreed.
seeing that too. I have a friend that works at a hospital who said that they are looking for. She was joking because I told her, I'm going to be job searching here, within a year or so. Whenever the UNAS gets ready for how they're going to conduct retirements. And she was like, "Oh, you
As
can
if they
come
are.
clean the bathrooms." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that'd be fine. I wouldn't mind just popping in my headphones and walking around and sweeping something." But she's like, "Actually, no, I'm serious. They're having a hard time finding staff to clean the departments at a hospital where you would expect it to be clean."
Well, it's just like
They're
you
not
said.
finding the staff to
It's
do the
easier.
cleaning.
Why would you want to go work for money when you can sit at home and not do anything and get on Call of Duty and be getting paid?
I guess.
Getting paid like $2,200 a month to do nothing.
Yeah.
He just said he had a rough time. Like, they are being incentivized. Like, if they refer someone that gets hired, they also kind of get a bonus after, if they stick around for 3-4 months, whatever. I don't remember the exact details, but he said, like, they've been searching for people and no one's applying. Like, man, I wouldn't mind doing it. I'll keep
Say,
to
I'll go
myself
sweep some
and mop the
shitters.
floor. Yeah, right?
I still remember telling my wife the first time that we had a shitter blow up in the head. And in this head, it was on an amphib, which was like one step down from a carrier. And we shared it with multiple departments. And what happened was it just backed up. And of course, floating turds all over the floor. Those need to be cleaned up. Well, they're not going down the drain. So what do you got to do?
Waffle stomp them bitches.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
Shove them down the drain.
Pick
Pick them up.
You're basically picking them up. So we'd had to have a broom and a dustpan that we threw overboard after, but we're sweeping turds and toilet paper and everything in this dustpan, putting it in a sack and then throwing it overboard.
See, I feel like that's something that every civilian should experience. Because when they go and make comments about the military, were you in port or out to sea?
When it happened,
Yes.
this was out to sea.
So even worse. Everyone should experience a shipboard toilet where once that loud vacuum noise comes, you're afraid that you're going to be...
Your insides are going to be sucked through your asshole.
Yeah.
It would literally scare the shit out of you had you not already just taken the shit.
What's it called where your intestines come out?
A bad day.
Okay, we'll go with that. But when you...
Like a hemorrhoid?
Like
No,
a perforation.
Like
Yeah,
where they actually come out of your asshole? What's that
Yeah,
called?
there's like, when it
Yeah,
gets
I
inverted.
forgot. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot.
Whatever that's called. Like, you're afraid that
Inverted.
that's
Is
happening.
that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was taking the shit, and then all of a sudden, we was inverted. Bullshit.
When you're out to sea and you're trying to pick all these things up, the rocking and rolling of the waves and that stuff sloshing around. So not
the
only do you
grossest
have to
sound in
pick
the
up the
world.
poop, you have to wade through the sloshingness and then chase the turds around to actually grab a hold of them.
Yeah.
Or sleeping 5 feet from 3 dudes jerking off.
Ugh. I think I'd take the dudes jerking off, as bad as that is to say, over the sloshing shit and having to wade through it.
Or did y'all ever... I heard some horror stories about like mess cranking and working in the trash room and getting trash from like the female birthings and stuff like that, how nasty their shit was.
I had a captain. She had to pull the females on board aside, and it was during a all hands call, and
What, just
She's
dismissed everybody else and had
yeah,
them
that's
stand by?
exactly what happened. She was just like, all the females stand by. All the males, you guys are good. You guys can go. And of course, like, she got up and was talking before everybody else left. And the only part I heard was, all right, ladies, I'd like to talk to you about the Red River rat.
What?
The Red River rat.
That sounds like
basically
something that you
flushing
read out of
tampons.
like a Amazon or Nile River fiction book.
Yeah. She is basically about flushing female hygiene products down the toilets.
Yeah, feminine.
And she was very upfront about a lot of things, which is great. She was one of the best COs I ever had. And she would say when she wants to talk frank with people was, "Hey, I'm going to be open kimono here." And she was a female. She was
XO
Asian.
That was like that.
And it was just like when you hear it for the first time, everybody's kind of like looking around like, can she say that? I don't think she can say that. Then you realize, oh yeah, she can totally say that.
She is the captain.
Yeah.
It's kind of fortunate, like, if there's that sort of issue in that circumstance, that there is a female to address it. And I wonder how male captains would. Like, I assume most of them, like, I'm the captain, I'll take charge, I need to talk about it. But I feel like there are some males out there that would be apprehensive to speak about feminine hygiene products.
I would agree with that.
Because I remember my mom used to tell me a story, way back when my dad wouldn't even go in the same aisle as her to buy them.
Oh,
And
as many
she,
daughters
like,
as I have.
ensured that wasn't going to be me. Like, that's a product of life.
100% bought these things like crazy. Showing up with like a cart full.
Yeah,
How many
me too.
daughters have I have? It's
I just
not
don't give a
embarrassing
shit.
at all. First time my wife asked me to, I just went and did it. I didn't care. I don't understand it. And I think with the male captains thing, it's just hey, let's flush toilet paper and bodily waste only without getting into details, but everybody knows the details.
The fact that it's a problem and needs to be addressed anyway is concerning.
We gotta remember, man, there's some nasty motherfuckers, both men and women,
100%.
in this world, and that does not exclude the military.
I have walked into a shower, and this is actually back on the same ship. Walked into the shower, and there's like 9 to 12 different showers. There's one open, and I'm like, sweet, there's one open. This is unheard of. It's a PT day, and they're usually full, and there's usually a line. So when I walked in there, and there wasn't one open, I was like, sweet. So I get in there, and I start showering, and the drain's dead center of the shower stall. And I start turn the water on, and then the smell hits me. I'm like, oh, I friggin' stink. And I'm like, that's not BO. That is shit. And sure shit, I look down. There's a turd right on the drain, just sitting there, just like he couldn't hold it.
Crap.
But I'm glad it was center mass and he hit the drain. But now I know why that was wide open. I just didn't look.
Waffle stomp.
No.
It makes me wonder, like, that person, right? Obviously you're in the shower, so I guess there doesn't need to be paper. You can, turn around and get a little jet stream going. Why?
Because people are assholes.
I think it's like the owl getting to the center of a Tootsie Pop. Like, just the world may never know.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. What I do
Always
know
said
is
that.
I need a drink. You guys want something?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll take like one of them high caffeine drinks.
Word. I'll be back.
Later.
All right, I'm back, guys.
Oh, hey, what's up?
What's up?
Nada. I need this caffeine. I think I am actually going to be good to go to bed. So maybe I shouldn't drink this.
Just a couple sips.
There you go.
Get a little spike in your
Do a little halfsies.
energy, and then a crash right before we get off watch.
Especially, did you get it all sugar one?
Yeah,
Well, that's
that's
perfect.
all they had.
Just down it right now, and then by the time we're off watch, you'll crash. Or your heart will explode and
Well,
you die. And then
what I'm
who cares?
afraid of is when I get off watch, like, I freaking stink. I don't know what it is, but
That's
I
what
need
that
to go
smell
shower.
has been.
Is a bit
Do I
musty.
stink for real?
I think, yeah, it's a little musty.
Little musty.
That's what I'm catching, like, every now and then. So I feel like I
Oh,
need
we're
to go
catching it
shower
all the
before I
time.
go. Seriously?
Yeah.
Your nose blind.
No, I mean, occasionally it hits me, and so I'm like, well, I've already taken a shower for today, so I don't understand it. But what I...
Already taken a shower today, so I'm good this week.
Oh, wait, we don't live, like, in the 1600s where it's a royalty thing only?
You never heard conserve water? Come on now.
Hollywood showers.
There you go.
No, but
So is
for
it
real,
your clothes?
occasionally, I don't know, like, maybe? You know what it could be, though.
It's not an odor, it's more of an oh dear.
That's pretty good. I'm going to give that one to you. I think what it is, like, just recently I realized that, you know, I wear my uniform items, wash them, fold them, put them away. But because I'm putting them right back to where they come from and then keep wearing them,
You don't rotate?
that's what I've just realized I'm not doing enough. Like, I'm neglecting all the shirts at the bottom.
Do you rotate?
Rookie move, man.
Yeah.
Wash the clothes you wash. You put those on the bottom.
Yep.
Move them up.
Every time.
Move the ones on bottom
And
up.
that's what gets me in my head. Like, I do that with underwear and socks, but I just realized my t-shirts haven't been doing that.
Yeah, 100%. Got it.
Or
I say that like it's their fault.
or sometimes on uniform stuff, I'll purposely not wash until I have one left. Wash that stuff till I have one left.
To make sure they're all evenly worn.
Yep.
Yeah.
I tried that once, but then I realized sorting sucks. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll just kind of keep two hampers, like a uniform hamper. And when I have to wash it is when it happens. But then basically I see laundry, and when I'm on that weekend kick to get everything cleaned up, I just...
Yeah, I've made the mistake a few times of washing my normal clothes with my uniform stuff, and I've regretted it because I left something in my uniform and it ruined everything else. Like a pen or a can of chew or something. I wash my uniform and it just ruins everything.
But I think I hate, like, the papers also, because...
The papers are worse than a pen.
Yeah, like, it
Get
all
all
starts
crumbly.
to shred, and then you got flakes everywhere. And,
Can't just pull it out. Like,
Right.
Even if you turn the pocket inside out, it's still all stuck there.
Yeah.
And then who knows, what is that paper that you needed? Like, my biggest thing was I always kept plan of the days, and they'd be in my pocket. I'd go home and wash them, and then get half a plan of the day with all the notes that I needed for the next day, and they're all
Like
washed.
the
and I have
to-do
nothing.
items you never completed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm on duty tomorrow. I can knock it
Knock
out.
this out tomorrow, but not now. Can't do it if I don't remember it.
That's a fact.
That's how I got in trouble a lot. Oh, well.
By not completing your task.
By not completing my task because I washed my uniform.
My dog ate it.
Yeah, at least you had good hygiene.
True. Like in the day-to-day uniform, how often do you wash that? Not doing physical labor, just kind of sitting around in your uniform, desk work type uniform.
I mean, if I'm like cold on watch, maybe watch some TV, go to a meeting, go back on watch, go to bed, I'll go for 3-4 days. But if I'm
Okay.
outside where I end up having to half-mast and I'm sweating my ass off, then it has to go in the wash.
So that's what I mean. Like the uniform you're wearing right now,
Yes.
that's a week. Once
I
a
will
week.
probably hang it up, give a spritz of Febreze, and I'll be wearing it tomorrow.
I do that, so I'll wear it. Depends on how hot it is, obviously. And every morning I'll spray it with like that smell good stuff and toss it in the
Axe.
dryer. No, like the Febreze type, like
Yeah, I know.
the little teddy bear shit.
Yeah.
Teddy bear.
The fucking fluffy teddy bear.
Downy?
Yep. So they have Downy
Snuckle.
spray.
His name was
The
Snuckle.
kinder, softer military.
So they got the spray. You can spray it on your shit, and it's like a de-wrinkle or two. And
Speaking of spray
and I
that goes
throw it
on
in
your
the dryer.
shit, poopery.
I am a big fan of poopery.
I am too.
I'm a fan of squatty potties. I had learned about poopery also, and I thought
You just like took your
opening a-
level of pooping up like 10 grades.
Right, no, but hear this. I had a business venture idea once upon a time where it was all sorts of poop products, right? So your bathroom experience could be as good as it can be. the business name
That's
is
a good business model.
I just got
Make
a
your bathroom
fucking
experience as good as
vision
it can be.
of the movie Why Him.
I don't know what that is. But anyways, let me tell you my store name.
I'll tell you.
The
I'll tell you,
Porcelain
man.
Pagoda.
Yeah,
Okay.
the PP.
Yeah, that's even better.
Oh, shit. I didn't...
Yeah. I don't know if you'd want that as your .com. pp.com. That could be misconstrued.
I've made
P
mistakes.
squared.
I know, like, to have the... Like a traveling squatty potty. I thought about manufacturing a stool. I'm just thinking the names of these products, not the actual product.
I don't know what the product will look like or what it does, but stool, that's hilarious.
Basically, dad joke the shit out of company names.
I always thought something would be good for men, and I've learned this with the son, is for the toilets. You know how we have the cakes in urinals, or the things that stop it from splashing? Why don't we have that for the toilets? Because you splash a lot in a toilet, you just may not realize it, because most of it just ends up on the floor. But when we pee in a toilet, typically a lot of splash. So why not have like a cone that sits there, kind of towards the back of the
You
toilet?
piss into a coffee filter or something.
Kinda. So make it almost like a cone shape and have it sit at the back of the toilet. Not to the point where it, like, if you fell into the toilet, it would really damage your insides. But if we peed on that, it would angle all the pee and you would stop splashing on the floor.
What did you know, like, on urinals where they have a little seashell or a bee imprinted on it?
You don't know how to use the seashells?
The 3
So
seashells.
that's funny. But you know what I'm talking about? The
Yeah,
little
yeah.
picture on it? So that is supposed to be the aiming point to minimize splashback. And I read some time ago that a study was done that with the amount of droplets that splash back onto a person equates to about a pint of urine a year.
It's gross.
But
Sterile. You're fine.
Yeah.
so if you need
After a certain
why do you
time,
need a
it's
cone
not.
though? Because I imagine if you're peeing into the toilet, like I envision it, like there is a seashell
Yeah.
or a bee there, so about the same angle, right? I kind of aim for just above the water line. I don't pee in the water. I pee on the bowl portion right above the water
And
line
it
in the back.
still splashes.
Moral of
On
the
the
does.
story: if you sit and pee, you don't have to worry about it.
That is very true. I do sit and pee a lot more than I used to.
I just wish people had a game plan. I don't care if the strategy works or not, but I cannot stand walking into a public restroom where Dribbles McGee was just there, and there's a nice little puddle where I have to then straddle just to make sure that my shoes don't step in the
Yeah,
muck
you don't want to take
of
that wide
several
stance
guys.
anymore. That senator ruined that.
Or you pee with a boner because you get far enough back, you're not going to splash back.
The morning time where you have the St. Louis Arch thing.
Yeah,
going
you're
on.
like way lean. You got a hand on the wall, and your feet are like, and you're like doing a big plank against the wall.
You're almost going in like a
toilet.
yoga
concerned that your
pose.
body weight's going to push through the drywall.
You're like downward dog to pee.
Downward dog.
You're not going to get splashed back that way, but you're going to piss everywhere right before it gets going.
Yeah. Things women don't
All
have to
these
worry about.
troubles, yeah. But we don't have to worry about Red River rats.
Yeah, gross.
So who
or
wins?
giving birth.
I think we
I'm
definitely win. on
happy
that.
I do not have to give birth.
Oh, I don't know if we could handle it. You know, I hate that too, that argument. Oh, men couldn't handle it. It's like, okay, you've had thousands and thousands of years to get used to this, and it's inherent. So yeah, you can handle it better than we can because you know it's
It's like
coming.
saying a giraffe has neck pains.
Yeah. If this had been like something we were born into and we would be the ones that carry the child instead of them, we'd handle it. And then we would say, oh, you women don't even know what it's like. You guys couldn't handle it. But as it stands, they do it, not us. So no, we could not handle it right now.
I feel like
I don't want to ever handle it.
No.
they base that off of the stereotype of man flu and we whine and complain more.
We do.
But
100%.
again, another study that I read showed that because our pain level that we experience is in fact more. I don't know how they measured that. It's probably
Yeah.
like on a scale of 1 to 10, and then every guy that stubbed a toe is like 10. Just cut it off. I'm done here, doc.
Just cut it off from the neck down.
I don't know. I have a really, really high pain tolerance.
I do too.
Like really high.
And so I think because I have a high tolerance of pain, that something like getting sick really drags me down because I have such a high tolerance for pain that when it comes to getting sick, I am weak AF.
Yes. Like the sickness has to be to a level to whoop your ass.
Yes.
But it doesn't happen often
No.
because you skirt around all the minimal ones.
Mm-hmm. Like we suck it up for the little ones. But the ones that really take us out, yes.
Like there's a reason for it.
I'm acting like a baby because this one's big and this one hurts.
And I want my wife to make me a sandwich.
But
And
we
soup.
lose an arm or a hand, we're like, meh.
Got another one.
Yeah.
127 hours.
Come with two for a reason.
Now that, though, the 127 hours thing that's inherent in human nature. That I imagine that was really hard for him. It's hard to inflict that much pain on yourself.
Yes.
Yes. Never
That's why
seen
your
the
body,
movie.
it's really hard for someone to do that because you're ingrained to self-preservation.
Yep.
But I also wonder, because like, have you ever tried to inflict pain on yourself, but you flinch at the very last second because your body can't commit to the action?
No, I've never flinched. I've always committed.
Like, I'm stronger than you are.
I'm
That's why I
stronger
get-
than myself.
That's why I get extra points on my SEAL team.
On my
application.
man test. It took a lot of focus, like extreme focus to be able to do that, though.
And probably swift action to where.
Oh yeah,
there's
like
stopping.
no hesitation, like
Yes, but if it was something
forethought.
where basically your brain had permission to react, you would, and it's almost like more damaging to do it slower or.
Like when I dig my ingrown toenails out, I'm inflicting pain on myself.
Yes.
Yes, but you doing it is not as painful as somebody else doing
Well, yeah, because I like squeeze my toe so fucking hard it
Almost
hurts
goes numb.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
where you build up all that pressure, so when you clip the nail or whatever, and pus shoots out.
Speaking
everywhere.
of,
You want me to
Building
take
up
the pain
some
away from
pressure.
your legs?
I don't know. There's something to it though. Like if you're about to squeeze tweezers or whatever, use clippers, you know the precise point of when that pain's going to happen because of your action. But if you leave it up to the doctor, you're left to do nothing but cry about it.
You've seen The Kings of Pain, right? You watch that?
Yeah. The
That's why you
animal
always
one,
see
the
those guys
insect
like,
bite one.
yeah, they're like psyching themselves up to get bit by all these things that are crazy pain scales. That's just a different level. But at the same time, you're not inflicting it on yourself, but they are inflicting it on themselves. That's almost like a backdoor way of inflicting stuff on yourself because you're allowing yourself to get stung or bit. Like, did you watch it all?
I mean, I've seen a handful of episodes,
Have you seen
but
it?
not.
I've seen a few,
the whole
yeah.
series.
Like when he got bit by the snake at the very end?
Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't seen that. Episode.
Good God. He tore him up. And like, you go into that knowing this thing is going to just tear you apart. And it does. And it's gross. But would you consider that inflicting pain on yourself?
No, because you don't know when it's exactly going to happen.
I mean, you're putting yourself in the situation to know it's coming, but you're not the action and the reaction.
So you were just reacting to.
But the action is putting yourself in the way of that
Yeah.
action to get the reaction.
It's like, okay, so if it wasn't a snake bite and your own bite, you can bite your arm and you can probably go harder and deeper.
Giggity.
I knew. But, I mean, the way that you bite
Dingus.
your own arm, you could probably get some serious damage done. But because it's your
True.
jaw, you know what's coming. You know when you're going to tighten up.
Giggity.
And then keep going.
And it's also funny, like, especially like acute pain. Like if you don't know what's coming, like just say you're walking around and you get hit by a bullet, it's not going to affect you as much as if you
Correct.
saw somebody shoot you.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with
Yeah.
getting into a car accident. When you see it, like drunk people get into car accidents and they come out fine, but the other person in the accident, they're dead because they saw it coming. They tensed up. they reacted to it before the pain actually hit them, and before everything hit them. And the dude that was drunk
Tried to brace themselves.
Yeah, the
Brace
dude that
for
was drunk was just all like ragdolled.
Relaxed
and
body.
survived. Yeah. So there's something to that, I guess.
I mean, there's some people that have survived some serious things.
There's people that have
Rolling
survived
off a cliff
falling out of an airplane without a parachute.
I couldn't imagine wanting to survive up to that.
Yeah. People are alive, and they walk.
Can you
Hasselhoff
imagine-
did it in Baywatch. He just
Yeah.
pointed his toes and straightened out, and
Yeah. You bounce.
I just learned how to survive from Baywatch.
Yeah.
Like Kings of Pain is good and all for educational purposes, but I know like true survival skills come from the Hoff.
I learned from Batman, the 1960s. That's why I always carry on my belt shark repellent.
Yeah. Well,
That is
shark-
important.
Or do you have Barracuda repellent also?
Nope, just shark.
Oof. You're taking risks, dude.
What can I say? Live on the edge. Thank you, Batman. God rest Adam West. I don't actually know if he's dead. I assume he's dead because he's got to be old.
I mean, he was doing
No, I think he did, and that's why he's
Simpsons.
no
He was on
longer
The Simpsons
mayor
forever.
of
Yeah.
Family Guy,
He's on Family Guy?
Mayor West.
Oh, yeah. He was.
You want to know something funny about Batman? Remember back in like the 80s, early 90s, like Corvettes had the really high wheel wells.
Mm-hmm.
So when I grew up in Australia and saw Batman and the first iterations of the Batmobile, whatever, came to America, and a couple blocks away from me, a guy owned a black Corvette. The only one I'd ever seen in my life. And I was freaking convinced, like, that was the Batmobile.
That's
Like,
fucking Bruce Wayne.
I lived with that knowledge for probably years, to be
That
honest
knowledge.
with
Did you go to
Yeah,
Like
like-
he was hiding
You
his
like-
secret.
you. Well, I wasn't going to, like,
Bruce? I know who you are.
divulge the information that Bruce Wayne's right around the corner.
That's such a kid mentality right there.
Yeah.
Like, I know who he is.
Yeah.
Did-
Your secret's cool with me, bro. I'm not no snitch.
Did y'all ever go to the Batman shows at Six Flags growing up?
No, I never even heard of him.
Is it like a live action?
Yes, and it was the coolest thing ever.
I've seen the Indiana Jones ones, and I've seen the Marvel character ones, like in a theater.
What about the Ninja Turtle
I wish.
concert?
I've never seen it.
The Ninja Turtle concert was cool too.
Did they have ninja rap?
Yes.
Tequila.
Awesome. That would have been awesome. I was a huge fan of the Turtles growing up. Huge fan. Still am. Like I could watch all three Ninja Turtles right now.
The originals?
Yes.
Not the new shit.
No, not the new shit. Did you know that in Ninja Turtles 1, there was only like one person operating the facial features?
Mm-hmm.
But by Ninja Turtles 2, they wanted to give them more life. So at one point, there was like 16 people operating just the faces of the turtles because they wanted to give them more life in the film.
In the original?
Yeah, the original Ninja Turtles, and then
Secret
Turtles
of the
2,
Ooze.
Secret of the Ooze.
And then
Right.
Turtles in Time.
Yeah. The amount of people just operating the face of the turtles. Just to give them more like personality in the movie.
And now they're so lazy they just CGI everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of disappointed in like the new G.I. Joes, the new Turtles, and I think a lot of that has to come from nostalgia in the past. Like, I like the Turtles. My favorite's Raph. Now, like, your expectations are so heightened that you're left with some disappointment. Like, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard that about the new Mortal Kombat.
I mean, it's fair. I think it's good. I like it.
I mean, I want to see it. I'm still going to watch it, despite
Yeah.
people's opinions.
I didn't like it,
I can tell you, I liked it.
and I can tell you he's wrong.
Okay. Well, I'm all ears, because
So, what do you not like about it?
I think character development was very weak.
Okay.
So the first part of the movie was great.
There's
This-
only really 2 character developments in it. Maybe 3. I think you could argue 3.
There's 2. Sub-Zero and fucking Scorpion.
they don't really have much for character development.
Yeah, that's the only character development that happened, though.
No, because you have Cole Young, his character development, his arc. You have Sonya Blade's arc. Then you have Jax's arc.
Yeah, but they didn't... Anything that happened before that moment, you didn't know about.
What moment?
So does none of
moment
it
you
carry
meet
over
them.
from the past, or are they relying on your prior knowledge moving forward?
So yes and no, because this is not the old films part 3. This is a rebirth, redo, whatever you want to call it.
Everything's a redo.
Yeah, of the whole series. And it's basically a setup for the 10th tournament, which is the tournament that Earth turns it around, that Liu Kang wins and saves Earth and all this other stuff. Kind of sets Mortal Kombat 1, the first video game, in motion. This is supposed to be...
So it's a game storyline, not a prior movie storyline.
Correct. It's like a prequel to the very first video game, if you want to look at it like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't much of a video game player, so my...
But you know of
Limited.
the first Mortal Kombat game that came
Yeah,
out.
of course.
In the history of it, that is the 10th tournament they've had where Earth, or not Earth, the hell's it called?
Outworld?
Outworld, thank you. Outworld has won 9 in a row, and the rules state that if you win 10 in a row, you can take over that world. And Outworld has won 9 in a row, and they're poised to win the 10th one, but Liu Kang comes along and wins the tournament for them.
So does that reset the clock, or does that win the 10th one?
It wins the 10th one, so now...
I mean, so that just basically your prior 9 no longer exists.
Correct.
So now Earth 1.
you have to win 10 in a
everyone
row
else, 0.
by the rules set by the gods.
Interesting. So what else? What didn't you like?
So it was just weak. One of the main characters really didn't serve a purpose through the whole movie. He was
Which
just a whiny little fucking...
Cole Young?
Cole Young. He was a whiny little bitch the whole fucking movie.
He served a purpose. That purpose was to bring the audience along. 100% without him, you would have never gotten through any storyline and you wouldn't have cared. Now granted, I could sit there and if they come out with a cut that's just all the fight scenes, I'll totally watch that. But what Cole Young's purpose was to bring the audience along with in the journey. Because if you don't have that person that's just kind of there on the outside looking in and he's like, oh my god, what is going on? You just are thrown in this movie where everybody knows about this tournament, everybody knows about Mortal Kombat, and they're just fighting.
Was he ever a character? I don't remember if he was
No,
ever.
he
I didn't
wasn't.
think he was.
So he might have just been like a neutral character there
no,
specifically.
he's a descendant
because,
of fucking Scorpion.
Yeah.
well, I'm saying neutral character in the sense that he's not known to audience members.
Yes.
Whereas audience members that are familiar with the games, like, oh, my favorite is Raiden, my favorite is Reptile.
Yes.
And then, you know, they have an interest in how the movie's going to turn out. But with this neutral dude,
it allows you to have an interest in the whole movie. Without his character arc and without him being brought along for the ride, you don't really have anything. You won't get invested into the movie without him.
And also did not like that Kung Lao got his ass beat so easy.
Agreed.
Goro got his ass beat so easy.
Again, I also,
Melina.
as much as I thought Cole Young was needed for the movie, they shouldn't have used him to kill Goro. I think that him being the Prince of Outworld and him being such a huge character, even in the games, he was the
boss.
last to the boss.
Yeah.
Like, he's the mini boss.
which one is that?
The
Goro,
dude with four arms.
guy.
Oh, okay.
He should have definitely lasted longer. I don't even
They shouldn't have had Melina in this at all.
know.
Or
She didn't come around
or
for a
Cabal.
long time.
He should not have been here at all either.
I agree with that also. He was there as a Black Dragon reference for Kano, so they could talk.
I literally don't know anything you're talking about.
You'll see it when you watch it. I'll watch it again.
The only things that I've seen, I did watch on YouTube the first 7 minutes, which was like the opening scene.
And I thought the movie was going to be fucking epic after seeing that, and that was not how any of the rest of the movie was.
Really?
Yeah.
I did watch a trailer. I saw one trailer that I thought was awesome where I don't remember exactly what happened. Like an arm got cut or chopped off, but Sub-Zero froze the blood and then used it as a dagger. That was sweet.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Like, the fight scenes are epic throughout the entire movie.
And I thought Scorpion's fatality was kind of weak.
I didn't like that he only turned half his face into a skeleton.
Yeah.
But I also saw why. I understand that side of it. That actor probably wanted to keep half his face. As sad as that is, but
contractual agreements for X amount of screen time.
So but Kung Lao, how they did his fatality, where he threw his hat into the ground and then slid the person into it and cut her in half. And
I like that one.
How he popped up from the ground into his hat. I was like, this is amazing. They did it right. I don't think there's any way possible. One, give it to where fans are going to be like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing in the world. And bring non-fans along also. There's no way to do that perfectly. And you'll never do that with a movie, regardless of what it is.
Yeah, you can.
Well, set up
the next movie like Mortal Kombat 10 storyline.
So yes, as of right now, there's no plans for Mortal Kombat or Mortal Kombat 2. They were going to see how this goes because the previous ones were so bad.
I thought the first one was not terrible.
I didn't think it was terrible either, and even for the time, I think it was great.
Yeah.
However, the second one was god awful.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the second one.
I'm just happy Raiden wasn't a fucking white dude.
I was too. Granted, that white dude played a lot of Asian people in his previous films.
Yes, he did.
But I like the fact that he wasn't, again, a white dude. I understand why his character wasn't as, like, potent as it should have been, Raiden's character. Because this is, like, pre-10th tournament. He's gotten his ass kicked 9 times. He's not really pissed off at the gods yet. He's still kind of following the elder gods' roles. And this is before he goes, like, apeshit and starts going ham on people.
I guess I'll weigh in. I need to watch it, but it's not. I
think everybody should watch it. I think it's good. If you like fight scenes and you like kung fu, I think you should watch it.
Still, how did Homeboy get so good at fighting?
Who? Cole Young?
Yes,
because he watched
Sidekick.
Yeah,
with Chuck Norris.
He watched Three Ninjas.
Kickback. Tum Tum.
In the very beginning,
he was pretty shitty. Even when he fought Goro, and then at the end fight, he all of a sudden is this badass fucking martial artist with these fucking new weapons he's got, just out of nowhere.
Yeah. They did briefly, and this is one of the biggest problems I had with it.
And his suit wasn't powering up like it was when he was fighting Goro either, when he was fighting Sub-Zero.
They breezed over so many facts that set up story with one-line fixes that most writers think one line, as long as people catch it, will fix this thing later. But in the very beginning, they talk about how
you must be talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I'm talking about a lot of films, actually. How they dropped this one line in. Like, they dropped the line that he is, before he started fighting, when he was in MMA, how they dropped one line, and it was one dude going, oh, I remember when you beat up blah, 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 and became champion. So that one line allows you to know later that he's actually a pretty good fighter. He's just fallen down and nobody pays attention to who he is anymore.
But none of the stuff he was doing was MMA.
No, I completely agree. It's just,
cutting somebody in half is not fucking MMA.
It's a Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah.
So I take it with a very small degree of seriousness.
So I was really hoping when Jax was fighting that dude on that bridge, he was going to like fucking
Toasty?
uppercut him.
Yeah.
And he was going to fall down into some spikes.
So from what I understand, they did do a Toasty reference. So they would have had to done the pit uppercut.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they cut it from the film, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a director's cut here in a few years that everyone raves about.
Zack Snyder's rendition of
Bring back the Mortal Kombat verse.
Right.
It'll be in black and white.
So
Speaking
on another note of bringing back films is when I was watching the trailer on YouTube, the next recommended video was a remake of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one.
No, it looks equally as dumb, but it's only been a couple of years.
So it's not a remake.
They're remaking the
It is-
timeline.
Yeah. It is a remake and it's not a remake. They're getting rid of that cast and they're bringing in new characters. But if you know anything about Suicide Squad, it was like a rotating group of characters. It wasn't always just this one group. They always brought in other people, and all those people in this film were on it at one point.
So speaking of DC, I just started watching Doom Patrol.
That is awesome.
Holy shit, is it awesome.
Yeah, I enjoy that a lot. And I'm happy Brendan Fraser is acting.
Yeah. Watch Doom Patrol if you haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't.
And Teen Titans. But it's just called Titans now because they're all older. It's really good. It's really gritty. It's like Robin's a freaking badass now. And it's been years since he's been Robin. He was actually a cop for a while. He has to go back to being Robin. They brought in some new people. But they have Beast Boy and Raven. And they're young. And they're bringing the Titans back. It's really good.
I guess I got a lot to watch, but
Yeah.
And he
it's not
fucking
going to
hates
be
Batman.
tonight because,
It's bedtime, eh?
yeah, I'm ready to pass out.
Yeah. There's our reliefs. Perfect timing.
Word. Have a
All
good
right.
night, y'all.
All right, guys. See y'all
Later.
tomorrow or later today.
As always, thanks for listening. If you're enjoying the show, please go and rate a review. It really does help the show out. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at UNAS Midwatch Podcast or Twitter at UNAS Midwatch. Leave us a message or a word that Drew has to look up. CMG Doom, played by Robert Williams. Fully Petty Soldier, Chris Pike, played by Christopher Sharp. Second Sergeant Drew Scrolls, played by Andrew Mingione. Second Sergeant Leon, played by Chris Short. Logo created by Natascha Mingione. Music owned by James Clifford, created by Ian Host and Ride Free. Thank you for listening to UMass Midwatch.